Welcome back to Morning Coffee Guest. I'm your host, Simone Absalom. Located on the waterfront in downtown Kingston, the National Gallery of Jamaica was established in 1974 and is the oldest and largest public art museum in the Anglophone Caribbean. The gallery houses the premier collection of Jamaican art, significant parts of which are on permanent display. Joining us this morning to tell us more is Senior Curator of the National Gallery of Jamaica, O'Neill Lawrence. Welcome, O'Neill.
Thank you for having me.
All right, before we get into the thick of things, tell us, what is the mandate of the National Gallery of Jamaica?
The National Gallery's mandate is to research, collect, and promote Jamaican and Jamaican diasporic art, with some, of course, references to wider Caribbean artistic expressions.
And what's the range of art that the gallery has showcased over the years?
I think we've showcased almost all forms of art, everything: paintings, drawings, sculpture, things, digital art, sound art, installations, performance art. We have really captured everything that is out there, in my opinion.
All right, and what can you tell us about the permanent collection?
Our permanent collection is really almost a museum. It is documenting the developments in Jamaican art from the time period of the Taino through our period of enslavement, emancipation, independence, and afterwards.
And what's currently on exhibit now?
We have a lot of things on exhibit. I mean, separate and apart from the permanent collection, our current temporary exhibition is the Art of Reggae, the 25th Art of Reggae exhibition. It showcases 101 posters from the International Reggae Art Competition. And those are posters from all over the world.
Wow, and so what's next on the agenda?
The next exhibition is going to be the National Gallery's summer exhibition. That is opening at the end of July, the last Sunday of July, and it is a submission-based exhibition. And we've had submission-based exhibitions in our past, our annual national and the previous incarnations of our biennial. But this exhibition is a new initiative, and it is supposed to showcase the best of Jamaican artistic expression.
So the submission process for that has ended already?
Yes, it has. That was earlier in the submission deadlines were earlier this year. I hope everyone saw them. They were quite publicized. They're publicized in all media. The adjudication has already happened, and we're currently preparing the exhibition right now.
If I'm an artist, right, how do I get my art to be exhibited at the National Gallery?
Well, there are two ways. As we mentioned, the submission-based exhibition is an open call. So of all artists living in Jamaica, of Jamaican parentage or within the Jamaican diaspora are eligible to submit work. It goes through, as I said, a jury process. And if it's selected, then it will be on display. We have other exhibitions that are specifically curated on particular themes. And if your work happens to fit that theme, then the curatorial team may select it for exhibit.
Let's think about the public now. What are the opening hours if I want to come and visit?
The National Gallery of Jamaica is open Tuesday to Saturday. We open at 10 every day. We close at 4:30 Tuesday to Thursday, 4 o'clock on Friday, and 3 o'clock on Saturday. We're also open the last Sunday of every month, and those opening hours are 11 to 4.
And is there an entry fee?
Yes, there is. The entry fee is only $400 for adults, children, and students with valid ID enter the National Gallery free. And on the last Sundays of every month, all entries free.
Wow. So I can't wait to come and visit.
Looking
do you
forward.
often get schools coming to visit?
Actually, yes. During the week, the majority of our visitors are from a variety of schools, from the primary, secondary levels.
Well, do you have special packages for those?
Yes, actually. As I said, those students enter the gallery free. So if they're in uniform or have valid IDs, they enter free. We offer tours at the National Gallery. If you are a school group, touring a group of 25 students, that's $2,000. If you're not a school group, however, it's $3,000 for the tour.
All right, not bad, not bad. Using a broad brush, paint a picture for us of our emerging contemporary artists and their works.
Wow, that's a very, very broad question. With that's going to require a significantly broader brush than you might think. We are at a point in time where our contemporary artists are making international inroads. There's a particular interest in Jamaican artistic expression right now. We have a variety of artists exhibiting all over the world. In Cuba, they have an Biennale. We have artists who are exhibiting in Florida, Puerto Rico, Trinidad, South America, countries like Brazil and so on. So the range is there, it's expanding. I'm not sure, to pinpoint particular people, but we have a lot of emerging artists right now who are making a name for themselves and for Jamaican art.
Tell us about your last Sunday's program and what we can expect.
Our last Sunday's program is really a way to reach all those people who can't come during the week, because we're aware that a lot of people have a 9 to 5. So, their opening hours during the week are not really amenable unless you're going to have lunch at our coffee shop. And Saturdays, we're open on Saturdays, but we know some people are using those times to shop. So our last Sundays is a moment when we're trying to get, those people who can't find the time during those other hours. It's free. Admission is free. There is usually entertainment. We showcase quite a variety of artists, musical and a variety of performing artists as well. So it's drama, dance, mostly music. And sometimes we have things like book launches. So it's if you come, it's always diverse.
Well, my curiosity is certainly piqued, and I'm sure there's lots more to explore. When we come back, we'll be continuing with our conversation with Senior Curator of the National Gallery of Jamaica, O'Neill Lawrence. Back in a few. Welcome back to Morning Coffee Guest. I'm your host, Simone Absalom, and we're chatting with Senior Curator of the National Gallery of Jamaica, O'Neill Lawrence, about our flourishing local art scene. Thanks again for joining us, O'Neill.
I'm happy to be here.
Now, as a Senior Curator, tell us what your responsibilities entail.
I am essentially in charge of our curatorial team. The curatorial team plans our exhibition programming as well as our education programming. We have between 3 and 4 exhibitions per year, and that takes quite a lot of work. It takes a lot of research and organizing the exhibit so that the results of our research are engaging to our public. And we also have education programming like artist talks, children's programs, children art creation programs. And we have a branch in Montego Bay as well. So we have both of those kind of overseeing.
Where in Montego Bay?
In Sam Shop Square. It's right in the middle of the original city of Montego Bay. And it's at the Montego Bay Cultural Center.
All right. So you're a trained artist as well?
Yes, I am. I trained in visual communication as well as photography at art school.
All right. So what sort of themes are you most passionate about in your work?
I have been very interested in exploring lost and hidden archives. There are a lot of aspects of our history as people of color, as Black people, that have been lost or have been diminished in importance, and I'm very interested in exposing those things, because when I was studying at university, they always said that history was written by the winners, and we weren't always winning. So I think that our histories need to be coming to the fore.
All right, pinch me and tell me what you're working on currently.
I am beginning a project where I am doing some interviews with quite a few older Jamaicans in their 60s and 70s, trying to kind of document their unique experiences. And I'm going to turn it into an artistic project at some point, but I'm building an archive with these interviews.
Interesting. So when you're finished with that, where can we see it?
Not quite sure yet. We may be able to see it in other galleries, because I can't showcase it at the National Gallery. It would be a conflict of interest, being the senior curator, to have my work on display there.
All right, so we'll look out for your name.
Yes.
Some might say there has been a renaissance of sort happening in Jamaica's art scene in recent times. Would you agree?
I am not sure if I would use the term renaissance to describe what's happening, because renaissance would imply that it's a rebirth and that things have kind of died down. I think the art scene in Jamaica has been quite vibrant in the last 100 years. It just really depends on what your particular focus is. Since the 1930s, the nationalist movement, post-independence, there have been these moments during the 90s with the developments in our economies and so on. I think that right now it would appear to be a renaissance because there's a particular international interest, but I think the vibrancy of Jamaican art has been pretty much steady since its early developments.
And what has attributed to this, do you think, the steady development of our art scene?
I think that the earliest aspects of our artistic movement in the 1930s, it was kind of championed by people like Edna Manley. And I think the government of Jamaica, in almost all its guises, has been very supportive of the visual arts, and it's that continued support that has led to our steady development and the vibrancy that I mentioned.
All right, I know you spoke to us about what's coming up in the summer in terms of what you'll be displaying and how you selected it. But I want you to tell me a little bit more about the curating process, how the pieces are selected for inclusion in an exhibit. Is there like a permanent selection committee?
Well, firstly, I didn't select the works for the summer exhibition. And it depends on the nature of the exhibition. For the summer show, we invited 3 knowledgeable and esteemed judges to come in who were not part of National Gallery staff to select the best works for that exhibition. But if it's a internally curated show, then it would be the curatorial team, which changes depending on the nature of the project. So it's never just one voice or one set of opinions that are deciding what works are going to be showcased.
Very interesting. We'll talk more about that and about the new National Gallery West in Montego Bay. We'll talk more about that in just a few.
Our slogan says we are the people's station. And for more than 10 years, PBCJ has been providing unique content to this growing market. Let us show you how we can serve you. We are small compared to our competitors, but it's our size that gives us the ability to dedicate ourselves to our clients. We move your project from concept to completion, keeping our activities in-house so we can make decisions in a timely and efficient manner. We have a creative, energetic, and youthful team ready to take your ideas to the next level. So what can we do for you? PBCJ has mastered the art of feature presentations, studio interviews, and PSAs. We also stand ready to create content for your social media platforms and make your message accessible anywhere, anytime. We also provide streaming for your conferences, seminars, and workshops. And guess what? You don't have to break the bank, because our fees are some of the most competitive in the market. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we air it free. You heard right. We air it free for you. So call the PBCJ at 876-754-7225 or email us at production@pbcjamaica.org. We are waiting to serve you.
Welcome back to a very colorful edition of Morning Coffee Guest. I'm Simone Absalom, and we're catching up with Senior Curator of the National Gallery of Jamaica, O'Neill Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence, it's been interesting. Now, the National Gallery has 3 major events on the horizon. One of them is the summer exhibition.
Yes.
Another is the Kingston Biennial. Let's talk about the summer exhibition. You told me a little bit about it, but remind us, when will it start and when will it end?
The summer exhibition will open at the end of July and will run until the end of October. It was inspired by our previous biennial exhibitions, really. The last incarnations of the Jamaica Biennial it involved a submission-based process, it had tributes, it had a variety of very interesting components. And what we decided to do, because the exhibition had become quite large, is to split those components into 2 different projects. So the summer exhibition still includes the submission-based portion. It also includes an exhibit of works by a lot of our esteemed artists, people who have been contributing to Jamaica's artistic development for quite some years. And the other portion of it, the curated aspect of the show, which is, the curator or curators select particular works, is going to become our Kingston Biennial, which is scheduled to open in December of 2020.
Okay, and you were telling me about a Jamaica.
Yes, we have another exhibition. Once the summer exhibition closes, what we will have for the Christmas season is going to be the Jamaica exhibition. That's an exhibition that is showcasing the development of Jamaican music, and it's also showing how that music has influenced visual culture and other aspects of culture worldwide. It was previously shown in Paris at the Philharmonie de Paris. It was also shown at SCSC in Sao Paulo in Brazil, and now it's coming home to Jamaica. In each one of those locations, it was reconfigured and recurated specifically for that location, and the same, of course, is going to be happening here in Jamaica.
So the Kingston Biennial, if I was a artist, how do I get my pieces shown for that one? Can I submit it from now?
No, it's not a submission-based show. What you need to do for all the contemporary artists is to make sure that you have a presence. You are in exhibitions, whether solo exhibitions, you have a presence online, because the curators of that exhibit are going to be looking around at the cultural landscape and selecting works that fit whatever theme or statement they want to make with the exhibit.
All right, so before the break, we were talking about the new gallery in the western end of the island.
National Gallery West.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
Wow, that project was founded in 2014, and it is a collaboration between the National Gallery of Jamaica, the Institute of Jamaica, the Tourism Enhancement Fund, and the Montego Bay Arts Council, as well as the St. James Municipal Corporation. So it's quite a lot of people who are committed to the engagement of culture within Jamaica. It's housed in the Montego Bay Cultural Center, as I mentioned, in the middle of Sam Sharp Square. And what it really is a way for us to increase our reach. Because of course, even with the new highway, it is a little bit problematic for some people to come into Kingston, and we want to make sure that we're serving our audiences in Western Jamaica. Western Jamaica is very vibrant in terms of its artistic heritage and culture. And what we want to do there, and what we are doing, I hope, is that we are doing projects specifically for that audience. So, people don't just have to think about Kingston as being the center of everything. Things are happening in Montego Bay as well.
Besides their physical locations, is there any major difference between the National Gallery here in Kingston and the National Gallery in the West?
Well, National Gallery West is significantly smaller, partially because it's in a historic building and it is in a very interesting location. So the exhibits that we do there are usually much, much smaller than what we can do in Kingston. In Kingston, we are one of the largest galleries in the Anglophone Caribbean. As a new space, it's a beautiful space, it's a dynamic space. It can be reconfigured in quite a few very interesting ways. So we are having a lot of fun there with the team.
What's the public reception been like?
In Montego Bay?
In Montego Bay.
It's been very good. People have been very supportive because I think for some time there have been quite a few initiatives in Montego Bay, the Western Jamaica Society of Fine Arts being one of them, that has put on quite a few exhibits and tried to maintain the presence of art within the city. The response has been very good. People are excited that, we are now taking our mandate to serve all of Jamaica seriously by having a branch there.
What's the main exhibit currently in the West right now?
The exhibit that is there right now is the Affirmation Tour. It is featuring the works by an artist, Kimani Beckford, right now. The Affirmation Tour is an initiative that was started by Alicia Keys and Swizz Beats, and they awarded 20 bursaries to artists from all around the world, and a Jamaican artist, Kimani Beckford, was selected as one of those 20. So it funded the production of his artwork, and we partner with the Dean Collection, which is Alicia Keys and her husband's initiative to put on this exhibit.
What are the opening hours in the Western Gallery?
They are open from 9 to 5. Every day except Monday. I have to stress that one.
It's good that you said that. So I'm curious about your online presence, because art is not just tangible anymore. We're also moving into the technical age. Can you give us a little bit about what the gallery has been up to in terms of its online presence?
Well, for both our branches, they have their individual blogs. So nationalgalleryofjamaica.wordpress.com, nationalgallerywest.wordpress.com. Both have Instagram accounts, National Gallery of Jamaica, National Gallery West. We're on Twitter, we are on Facebook as well. So if you search either of the entities, you'll be able to find them on all these media.
Thank you so much for coming out and speaking with us, O'Neill.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited about paying a visit to both the National Gallery and the National Gallery West myself one of these days.
Soon. Very soon. It's not that far away.
All right. Soon. This has been PBCJ's Morning Coffee Guest. I'm Simone Absalom. Thanks so much for watching.